Okay, here we are. This is the walnut tree apiary. Well, this used to be a big apiary, but I've tendency to, well, it's only got down to one hive now because it's a bit dark. That's okay, it's a bright day today. So looking on my records, this is queen number 23. Last time this was inspected was the 7th of the 7th. Should have a green queen in it.
I was going to say, is it a young queen?
It's not, it's a year-old queen, but it's what you call the extreme from the previous hive. I've had to feed it. Its breeding quality is only about 2, but I do keep bees like this just to give a difference between the good, and she's not bad, but she's just not very productive. So it hasn't got a super on, as you can see. As we take the lid off, you'll be able to see. So we take the lid off. We had a bit of rain last night. What's the roof do, Elf?
It keeps the water off.
And you've got a feeder on
And we've got a feeder on there. The feeder's empty now, it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, it's empty now, so we might not feed anymore.
So what does the feeder do?
Well, sometimes when you've got a weak colony and there's a gap in flowers, where there's not many flowers or whatever, they sometimes can starve. But this is a particularly weak colony, and I don't know what I've kept on for. I should really have amalgamated it with another hive. But sometimes, it's actually turned out to, this hasn't been inspected now for about 3 weeks. They've taken 2 lots of feed, so I've taken probably a gallon of food. So here we are, this is the first time it's been open for several weeks. It looks a lot better now, they look cleaner, they're quite calm. I always try and give colony bees the benefit of the doubt. Then also I explained about the frames. You can see this is a new frame, but I'm going all over to plastic ends, because we make all our own frames and they're a lot easier to construct. So when we make a frame, obviously it's wood, it's quite a simple frame with a joint there, screwed in 4 corners, and then we have plastic spaces we put in the corner. Once you've done that, we put wire, as you see, to reinforce the foundation. Now this is the foundation. This square is the foundation, wax foundation we put in for the bees to build the honeycomb on. And here, if you look from here, they're just starting to build it to here, thicker and deeper. And here they're just starting to put honey in here. So this is a good example of bees drawing out foundation.
And why are they bigger, the frames, than the ones we saw earlier, which have the honey?
Oh, this is a brood box. So what you do with the brood box, you want a larger population as you can, so you have deeper frames. And if you had these deeper frames for collecting honey, they'd be too heavy. You know, all right, you could lift them at a struggle, but that's the size of a super is just about, well, that's nearly sometimes more than enough to lift. But these, if this brood box was full of honey, you'd have a job to lift it. Anyway, we've gone there. They're good, healthy bees. They really have perked up after feeding them.
Why are they suddenly gorging on honey when you open the honey?
Yeah, because what happened is I've taken the capping off, and you can see the honey there. They're just taking it back, and that was probably capped. And because they are they're funny old things, bees. But that is probably syrup anyway. But we feed these ones with a sugar syrup mixture. But you wouldn't, you know, that's just to build them up. But you can't. You know, it's no good for honey or whatever. No, it's just good to build a colony up. Now we look here. This won't need feeding anymore. Wow. As you see, they're actually bringing in honey now. So that definitely doesn't want feed anymore. And look at that, absolutely marvellous. From being a very, very weak colony at the beginning of the year, it wasn't particularly strong when it came through the winter. So we fed it pretty hard in the spring, but this will probably produce no honey whatsoever. I could put a super on it now, but I'm more interested in it'll probably be requeened and hopefully be a stronger colony for next year. So what we got? Another frame full. The queen's about, there's eggs in here. We can't see the queen at the moment, which is a good sign. She's a green queen, so she's a year old. Eggs in this side as well. But she hasn't got much room in here because of the honey they're storing in the comb.
So they're a really gentle
gentle,
colony,
aren't they?
They're
very, more than some of the others I've got, I have to be honest. So we got another one. What we got here? We've got loads of working bees, capped brood, open brood.
Would you
There's
say
pollen on the pollen on the back legs of the
Would you
bees.
say this is a typical good frame?
This is pretty good, yeah, bit spotty, but that's good. Honey around the outside and brood in the middle. It's pretty good, yeah. And this one's slightly different colour, but the same thing. It's got honey around the outside. I might put a super on. It's if they're bringing in proper honey, I could. We'll see. But at the moment, I haven't got any supers left. We've got some under construction at the moment. So there's another frame. Bees are filling up. There's honey. There's eggs in here.
There's more eggs on there and capped brood.
Yes, capped brood. No queen. Well, there is a queen.
And this is a typical middle frame.
Next frame. Be careful, they squash bees.
Oh, I can see. So what are the protruding ones?
The protruding ones are drone
boy
brood.
bees.
Yeah, male bees. But you have to have a certain amount of them. They normally do them around the edges, so that's sort of a bit of a strange spot. But anyway, that's what they are.
It smells beautiful, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's a
But
combination of wax and honey.
Yeah.
It's just,
So if you look at this bee here,
oh yes.
yeah, if you look right on behind it, it's got some yellow bag. This is pollen. She's obviously been foraging for pollen. They need pollen to feed the young brood. We take another frame out.
Alf, will you want to come and find the queen for Grandad?
Yeah, we can't see the queen.
We might not be
No
able
queen
to...
cells. A bit more drone brood in the middle of this one.
Come and stand next to
No
Grandad,
queen,
and then you
queen
can
cells.
see-
We look on this one. It certainly really has done well from being fed. It's really boosted the population. It seems to.
When did you start feeding it, my
Oh,
love?
beginning of the season. I haven't fed it yet. No, I stopped. Then I started again. But that really, the queen will start laying. Queens seem to understand if there's food about, they'll start laying eggs. It's definitely eggs of all ages.
She could well be on the last frame.
There she is. There she is. Not very well. The queen is not a very good colour.
She's green. Definitely
Yeah, there
green.
she is. A green queen again. And she's got a clip wing as well.
So she won't
So we'll
fly
stop
out the
here, but
hive.
that's
That's not a queen cell, is it?
no. It's you've got to be. You can. They're quite distinctive. After you've been going a few years, you can tell what's a queen cell. That's not even a cap. It's just something they call it play caps and various other names. But we've seen the queen. We don't need to go any further because I can see these ones are getting full of.
I'll give them a little smoke, Grandad,
yeah.
so you don't squash
So
them.
we squash all the frames up again.
And the smoke will then
Yeah.
make them go back
This
in.
hive is an old. I have to be honest, it is an old hive. It does. I have got one new frame here,
There's
which you can see is a
something
lot
been
cleaner and a lot
squashed
fresher.
here.
So I
You can
do.
knock it off,
I tend to as soon as the frames get black, we scrape them out, clean them up, and then put new ones. This will have all new frames in next year. So there we go.
Well done.
From what was a particularly weak colony, and a surprising, I was expecting to see a poor colony here today. So we won't need it anymore. So we take that away.
Yep. What is that called?
That's that's a wide eek.
It's a eek.
I make big eeks, I do, and a big eek can hold one of these. Otherwise, you have to use an empty super, which I can't spare this time of year.
So you only use this when you use feeding.
Feeding, yeah, in the autumn, and I put one of those on to so take the feeder away. That'll be washed, and put the roof back on.
That's it.
And that's
We're
that's
done.
turned out. And number 20, the queen's name is 23, and I think she's done rather well.